let's go ahead and dive into how we edit, delete, or copy attendance information. So we do that in membership, which I already had open, so I'll go ahead and click on membership. To go to attendance, we click on right here, attendance entry, right in the shortcut, middle of the map. Or you could up at the top, takes a little longer, you can go to, if we're not on attendance here, we click on the word attendance in the upper left, and then attendance entry. That takes you to the same place as the shortcut in the middle of the screen. Same goes for all of those. Those take you to the same as what you choosing the words and the buttons at the top. It's just they're shortcuts to the most commonly used functions. All right, so if we look at editing, deleting, or copying attendance, if you want to edit something you've already put in, you'd need to come to the attendance entry screen, and first thing you need to do is actually choose the event or class you want to edit. I want to edit an event, so I'm going to uncheck groups and classes, which will then make my list below here just show events and make it a little easier to find my Sunday worship, which is what I'd like here. Now, if I click the little box with 3 dots under date, then it shows me all the different dates I've entered. I'm going to, maybe I mistakenly put one of these on the wrong service. So we'll say Sunday AM worship. Well, I'm not going to copy it yet. I'm sorry. I just want to show you top of 13, if you're following along in the book, mentions how it's really easy. We can change information on attendance we've already entered by just bringing up that date. Maybe right here. Notice here, for people counted and amount collected, I got those reversed, so I want to correct it. I looked at my report and noticed, ooh, I didn't have 541 people attending. I only have 126 people at our small church. I made a mistake here. So to correct that, I just click where I need to correct it. We'll change that to 102 present. And then, was that 541 was the amount we collected. Now, I can fill as little or as much as I want to on this screen, but I'm not going to go into that. I digress. We're just going to talk about how we can edit. So here I was able to edit people counted, the amount collected. If I need to go down and mark somebody else as attending or excused, I can just make my changes right on the screen, and then I just close out. There's no save on the screen or anything like that. All right. Now, we can also edit the event, class, or the date of the attendance very easily. So if you've taken attendance and you took it maybe for the wrong date or wrong event, or you need to move it over to a different event, what I can do is bring up that group or class or event. And here we have one on the 7th, which if we look at our calendar, that was incorrect. We meant for that to be the 6th because the 7th is not a Sunday. That was our Monday. So again, we bring up the event or group class that we want to copy over to something else. And now upper right here, I can click this button that says copy. And that brings up my copy attendance screen, where the top half is showing the current event that we have. We can see at the very top it's showing Sunday AM worship and the date. We simply want to change the date on this and move it to the 6th because the 7th is a Monday. So I'm just going to click here where it says date and go back. You can type in the box. I like to use the calendar and click on the date. So here I can change it to 1/6. Now notice on the screen, I also, if I needed to, I could change it to a different event or group class. And below I have some options as well. If you're following along in the book, I'm at the top of 14. As I'm doing this, I can have it copy the number of people counted, the amount given, any comments I'd entered, or if I uncheck those items, then it's not going to copy those over. Now, in the case of entering something by mistake, excuse me, then I do want to choose this last option, delete the attendance for Sunday AM worship for 1/7, which was that Monday, after copying. So yes, I don't want it to copy this to 1/6 and then also leave attendance out there for 1/7 because we didn't really have Sunday worship on Monday. So I'm going to leave that checked, and now if I click copy, now if you realized you went in there by mistake, you could just click cancel and nothing would change. But now if I click copy, notice I see here my date shows 1/6. If I click this little box with the dots, we can see there's attendance for 1/6 and then 1/13. 1/7 has been deleted. It's copied over really quickly and easily to the actual date. It should have been 1/6 with all the different people marked present, my people counted, and my amount collected all copied over as well, but then also deleting the incorrect one from 1/7. Now we can also, if maybe we need to delete a date, we put the date, a wrong date in. I'm just going to randomly pick one, but obviously if you have an incorrect date, you know exactly what it was. Maybe 2/24 we entered incorrectly. So if I want to delete the date, again, I pick the event or group class. I choose the date of what I need to delete. And then upper right, I just click the delete button. And then it will ask me, delete all attendance for Sunday AM worship on 2/24. If I say yes, now if I go back and look at my list, we see 2/24, the attendance I had entered for 2/24 is gone. So deleting is pretty easy. You just pull it up, click the little delete button, and say yes to the message. A couple more things. We are now on page 15 if you're following along in the book. From this screen, we can print reports, labels, emails, and I need to update this because they've added one more thing since these books were written. I'm going to change that when 22 comes out. If we first choose our date, we need to choose our event or group class and the date we want to print out. So maybe we want the 17th. Then upper right, we can click print, and we have the options to print a report, to print labels, email, or a specific preset report called the summary by event. So let me just show you real quick. If we go to report directory export, that brings up, it's going a little slow there. This is what you normally see on step 2 of the report, except we're just seeing the top half because we've selected our people. So here you could use any of these report options to continue with that attendance entry date. Or we could go to print and labels, and that will take us to, momentarily, what's normally the top half of step 2 of your labels, where you choose the layout and how many you need. Or we could do email, and this would require that you have your email set up, but it brings up the email step 2 screen with everyone from the attendance of that day on the screen. And then you could continue and send an email. Or the last option here, which is not shown in the book, like I said, I got to add that. They added the summary by event group class. That programmed report, which you can access up at Reports, Export, and Attendance, that's available right on your attendance entry screen, where you can just get some information. Go ahead, and it's automatically defaulting to 117 to 117. It already picked the event group class up here. I'm wondering if I need to check it. I didn't test this. Let's see what happens if I hit print without checking it. Yeah, it's still telling me I need to check it right here, where I have all my check boxes for my different groups and classes. I thought it would probably tell me that, but I wanted to test it. So if I hit print, it's just going to give me a nice summarized report for that event. All right, last we're going to look at bottom of 15 and on page 16, because those pages were included in what I was supposed to show you today, is the transfer attendance. Now this is a way you can edit, so I think that's why it fits in here. Perhaps you recorded attendance to the wrong person. In the past, you'd have to remove it or uncheck the person, go to the other person, add it to them, which isn't too hard, but maybe you added a whole bunch of attendance to the father when it should have been on the son. You know, they had the same name. It could make things a lot easier and faster. So to transfer attendance, we'd go up to attendance, the second word in the upper left, and then under that, the third button, transfer. And that takes us to the transfer attendance screen. Now it defaults to look at 2019. I could put a specific date in, or I could just leave it at that range. Now from attendee is only going to show names of people who have attendance. If somebody does not have attendance, then their name will not show under the from attendee because there's nothing to move. You have to have attendance to move it. The book shows we're going to take Eric Bernard. So I'll go ahead and look for Eric. Now, if they just type the name, it narrows down to what I'm typing. So if you didn't know that, that can save you a lot of time. We marked Evan as attending on a certain date, but we really meant Evan. So we type in Evan and find Evan. So let's see, on the 20, wait, there's one day in here, I had an extra in here. On 2-3, here we go. 2-3, we marked that Eric Bernard attended because they normally both come, but it was actually Evan. So we need to move that over to Evan rather than Eric. Now notice this very first column is a little checkbox to select the date that you need, or dates, and it defaults to have them all checked. So I don't want to click transfer just yet. I want to click unselect all, and then I just want to put a little check here in 2/3/2019. Now I also, what I could have done here is specifically ask for that date that I needed to change. Like I said, I like using the little arrows in the calendar rather than typing. So here we have 2/3. Now if it's apply dates is red, that means it has not applied the dates that you asked for. So you have to click apply dates. Notice when I do that, got to bring Eric back up. But when I do that, it just has the one date showing, makes it easier to just move that one over. Let me show you. I'm going to do it one more time and show you with all the dates over. Eric. And then we'll find Evan. So now with all of these dates showing, if I hadn't narrowed down to just 2/3, I can click unselect all and just check here, this little checkbox in the first column for the date I need, 2/3/2019, and then click transfer selected. It says, are you sure you want to transfer the selected attendance to Evan? I can say yes. And now we see over on the right, 2/3/2019 has been transferred over to Evan Bernard. See if I missed anything here. I don't think so. So that is how we transfer, how we can edit, delete, copy attendance, transfer attendance, make corrections to errors we made in attendance.